to the number of lawyers who were victim of EJK? Do we have statistics already with respect to the prosecutors and with respect to the judges? Or does this number include already the prosecutors and the judges?
If I may, Your Honor, yes, the number already includes judges and prosecutors. Actually, just a clarification, while the NUPL reports that there were 59 lawyers killed, this number is qualified as lawyers were killed because of prima facie work-related, but there were actually 65 lawyers and judges killed during this period, Your Honor.
And have we verified, Attorney Conti, whether this 59 or 63 lawyers, some are prosecutors and judges, were actually handling cases of dangerous drugs law? All
Yes.
of them?
Not all of them, Your Honor. There are a few, and the problem is if the police do not investigate further and float many other motives for the killing, the drug connection cannot be pursued any further. But among them would be, as Attorney Colmenares has already mentioned, lawyers of Rolando Espinosa, lawyers of Melvin Odicta. These are, well, so-called drug lords. There is also a former judge, Ezekiel Dagala, who was named in the narco list. There was also a lawyer, Baby Maria Concepcion Landero Ole, whose late husband's involvement was alleged to be, because he was formerly detained on drugs charges. Her late husband's involvement was the alleged motive for the killing. There was a prosecutor in the Parahinog case, Your Honor, Jeronimo Marabe Jr., and the judge in the same case, Judge Edmundo Pintac. These two were killed in the same because of their relation.
In other words, Attorney Conti, can we say that generally these lawyers are handling or involved in dangerous drugs cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm interested to know also about the outcome of the preliminary investigation of the total number of cases which are pending during the time with the prosecution and the number of dangerous drugs cases which are pending in court during the time.
Ang mga nanay po yung mga biktima ng war on drugs na hindi talaga napapag-usapan. Kasi ang karamihan ng napatay nung panahon na yon ay mga lalaki. Pero sila yung nawalan ng asawa, sila yung nawalan ng mga anak, at sa kanila rin napunta yung burden nung nawala nga yung mga mahal nila sa buhay. I think that we should also honor and recognize the hardships that they have had to go through because of what happened during that time. Ang nangyari po sa inyo, Nanay Arsenia at Nanay Elizabeth, ay hindi lang kayo nag-iisa. Dahil sa aming pag-aaral ng mga kaso ng war on drugs, pare-pareho po nakita namin pattern. Unang-una, pinapasok nila yung mga bahay na walang warrant of arrest o walang search warrant. Pangalawa, sinasabi nilang nanlaban yung mga biktima, pero obvious naman sa pagbasa namin ng mga police report na cut and paste lang po ang mga version ng police. At karamihan din sila ay naging biktima ng war on drugs dahil nailagay lang yung kanilang pangalan sa mga drug list. Director General Lasso himself admitted before this Quadcom that of the 6,000 plus names on those lists, up to now, only 1,500 have been validated. Gusto ko rin pong ibahagi sa inyo na sa isang report na sinubmit ng PNP sa kaso namin sa Korte Suprema, sabi po nila, out of 42,268 police operations conducted from July 1, 2016 until 30 November 2017, only 507 or 1.2% were authorized or based on warrant of arrest. Wala po silang binigay na numero pagdating sa search warrant, pero doon sa mga inaral po namin na kaso, iisa lang ang nakita namin na home invasion na may search warrant. It would be good perhaps to ask the PNP to submit their data from 2016 to 2022 of how many home invasions were actually authorized by a search warrant. Basic na basic po sa batas natin na yung a man's home or a person's home is his castle. And no one can enter or invade our homes, kahit po maliit lang na bahay yan, kahit na sabihin natin, yero lang ang bubong niyan, bahay pa rin yan. At hindi yan pwedeng ipasok ng police, ng militar, o kung sino man na walang warrant of arrest or search warrant. Kami rin po ay nakikiisa kay Attorney Lopos at sa kanyang pinatay na kapatid, si Tata Rex. Siya po ay isa lang sa more than 16,000 na napatay na mga riding in tandem, na mga nanlaban na hanggang ngayon pagala-gala pa rin Hindi man lang natin alam kung sino-sino sila. I cannot imagine that there are thousands of serial killers still walking our streets. Baka po, katabi natin sa karinderya yung mga yan na hindi natin alam na mga pumapatay pala sila. And that's why I would like to thank also the Quadcom for the opportunity to have the victims appear and testify before you. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Attorney Jokno. I have here a list of the members who wish to interpolate. And the first in the list is Congresswoman Arlene Brosas. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I would like to ask to direct my questions to, siguro sundan ko lang yung kay Attorney Dexter Lopez. Attorney Dexter, I believe meron pa po kayong isang case na hindi nabanggit. This is with your cousin. And ano naman po yung circumstansya nung pagkamatay ng inyong pinsan, Mr. Chair?
Another murder that I can probably shed some light was that of the late Attorney Rolando Lopez Asido, my first cousin, who was the former city prosecutor of Mati City in Davao Oriental. He was killed also by assailants who attacked him by way of riding in tandem, killers, as he was about to park his car in front of the Mati City Hall of Justice in Dahican, Mati City, in the early morning of 26 October 2016. Note that his murder was just around 4 months into the Dutrte administration, but it happened in the thick of the extrajudicial killings already po. Attorney Asido, as city prosecutor, he was actually a hemiplegic. His left part of this body was paralyzed as a result of a stroke. He was a stroke victim, probably because he was so conscientious in his duties as city prosecutor. He would work till the wee hours of the morning just to resolve cases. As far as I have actually all the details as to his killings, I would rather defer supposedly to his immediate family. But this is what happened. He was handling, as city prosecutor, a murder case in the regional trial court of Mati City. The judge downgraded the case to homicide. He disagreed, and so he brought the case all the way up to the Court of Appeals. He won there, and that the Court of Appeals ordered the reinstatement of the murder case and ordered the rearrest of the accused. The accused refused to surrender, and then several weeks thereafter, my cousin was killed. But what is peculiar, Honorable Arlene Brosas, with his case was that, in the early days of the past administration, again, I cannot recall already the exact date and month that our conversation happened. I visited him in his city prosecution office in Mati City, and he relayed to me in person what happened to him. Apparently, he dismissed several drugs cases because, according to the late city prosecutor Rolando Lopez Asido, the version of the police was too incredible and unbelievable that he had no choice but to dismiss the cases. Apparently, these rogue police officers reported him to the administration, to the former president, that he was ordered to explain himself. He was called to Davao. That was the early days of the past administration when the former president was still holding office in Davao City most of the time. And he was made to explain. So what is peculiar here is that his case, according to him, he was so frustrated because what he was only doing was his sworn duty as a lawyer, an officer of the court, and as a prosecutor. That if the evidence, there is no probable cause, he dismissed the cases. But instead, he was reported as having drug links because he dismissed those cases. He was so frustrated, Honorable Brosas, that he told me that I might as well leave this job. I'm just doing the best that I can do. And yet, I was reported. And then I was made to explain. He was made to go to Davao and explain. So, my point here is that...
Excuse me, Attorney.
Yes.
Can you... I know how passionate you are
Yes,
on this issue.
yes, Your Honor.
And I observe that you are really fueled with passion to answer the questions of the members. But please kindly shorten it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So my point, Your Honor, the Honorable Lead Chairperson, is this, that this might not be, his experience might not be an isolated case. During that 6 years, there might be dozens or hundreds of prosecutors who actually wanted to dismiss the case for lack of probable cause, but for fear that they will be reported, that they will be included in the list of persons with links to drugs, that they just close their eyes and then file the cases in court, burdening our courts with cases which should have been dismissed in the very first place. And it's peculiar because just months after this happened, he was attacked. And he's now dead. So, this really is a big burden. And parang bang, what happened, Honorable Bosses, is this. If you handle cases for drug suspects, you will be killed. If you are a public prosecutor who will dismiss cases, you will also be targeted. You will be placed in a list. You will be reported. What can you do? So that's what happened.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I ask this, kasi talagang lumalabas ngayon, aside from the drug suspects and alleged drug users and pushers, lawyers and other innocent people who are critical of the implementation of the bloody war on drugs were targets of the Dutrte administration. Hindi lang po si Atty. Rex Lopez, yung pinsan ni Atty. Dexter, na lawyer ng mga drug suspects na pinatay. Hindi lang mga drug suspects talaga ang pinapatay. Marami ring mga human rights defenders ang ninakawan ng buhay, no, sa ilalim ng war on drugs. Now, Mr. Chair, I would like to address the following question sana to Colonel Garma kung nandito siya. Mr. Chair, is she present?
She was asked to be excused. I think she just came out of the hospital the other day.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Now, I would like to address the questions to the human rights organizations na lang siguro, Mr. Chair, no, here with us instead. My point of inquiry is on the synchronized enhanced managing of police operations, which is SEMPO, no? Yung series of operations aiming to quell illegal drugs and activities under the Duterte administration. According to human rights organizations, napakaraming illegal searches and seizures, arrests, and mass killings ang isinagawa during the implementation of SEMPO under the Duterte administration. And as we've briefly touched upon in the previous hearings, a particular police report also stated that at the time where Colonel Garma served as the head of Cebu City Police Office, their post had the highest number of arrests on 66 street-level targets in buy-bust operations, all under the SEMPO operated in Cebu. At ito pong SEMPOng ito ay inimplement din sa Negros Oriental when its second version, the Oplan Sauron, was initiated. This caused the death of at least 20 Filipinos at the time when the PNP Chief de Bolsinas was the police regional chief of Region 7. So, Mr. Chair, isa itong malaking kaso ng extrajudicial killing. Kaya can someone from the human rights organizations or lawyers here with us today explain this? Perhaps Atty. Crissy Conti of NUPL, ano po yung recorded deaths in Negros due to SEMPO, and what are the backgrounds of these people killed under SEMPO? And who were involved in these killings and operations? Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Regarding Negros, actually there is a larger context to the Negros killings because this became a killing field as early as 2017. And in fact, in November 2018, President Dutrte issued a Memorandum Order 32, declaring a state of emergency in the Negros Island, Eastern Visayas, and Bicol. And this was the pretext for increased operations. And the SEMPO that we recorded, on December 27, 2018, for SEMPO operations that ran for roughly 3 days, 6 people were killed, 26 arrested. And there were 600 law enforcement officers involved in all these operations, from the Regional Mobile Battalion, 94th IB Army, 62nd IB Philippine Army, and 303rd Infantry Battalion. Accordingly, after that, there was also a second round on March 30, 2019, this was what I believe Sinas mentioned was Oplan Sauron. 14 were killed and 15 arrested. In context, ma'am, because this was also, sorry, Your Honor, this was also targeted as or fashioned as anti-drugs operations. In the same SEMPO, 750 grams of illegal drugs were allegedly taken. And there is a news report where Sinas surmises that perhaps these sales from illegal drugs were being
So,
used.
Mr. Chair, Atty. Christie,
sorry.
sinasabi niyo ba na itong SEMPO, pinaghahalo yung pagpatay sa mga drug suspects, human rights defenders, and mga inosenteng tao? Kasi yun yung binabanggit niyo ngayon eh.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, SEMPO encompasses illegal possession of firearms explosives, illegal drug operations, and service of warrants of arrests in general. These are generally anti-criminality campaigns. And then, sorry, just to add this, so Sinas in a report says that because the second SEMPO occurred in March 30, 2019, and this is weird, he alleges that perhaps sales from the illegal drugs were used to fund campaigns during the 2019 elections. So this was parang catch-all provision nila for all criminality or anti-criminality operations. And lastly, Mr. Chair, the personalities of those killed were largely farmers, activists, or those alleged to be farmers activists. Most of them were red tag.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I would like to direct my next question to CHR. Mr. Chair, I would like to ask Attorney Jacqueline De Guia, has your office studied and assessed the conduct of retired Police General Sinas synchronized enhanced managing police operations or SEMPO in Region 7? Do you have a tally of the extrajudicial killings committed by the PNP under SEMPO and during the directorship of retired Police General Debode Sinas in the region?
Good evening, Mr. Chair. Yes, we do confirm that we have conducted investigations on the SEMPO killings. 11 out of the 14 killings were investigated by the CHR, and 5 of those cases had forensic reports, Mr. Chair. And based on the forensic reports, it would appear that the victims sustained multiple gunshot wounds, and most of them were sustained in the head area as well as in the chest area, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, may kopya ba tayo nung...
We could subsequently submit, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, lumalabas noong panahon ni former PNP Chief Sinas. Anyway, Mr. Chair, bago po yun, I'll just go back doon sa ano. So, yung CHR Region 7, very familiar ito, Mr. Chair, Attorney Jacqueline De Guia, very familiar sila doon sa mga cases ng SEMPO, right?
Yes, Mr.
So, sino po yung CHR Region 7?
The chief investigator is already retired, Mr. Chair.
Retired na siya? What is his name pala?
He was former SI Leo Villarino.
You have a new CHR Region 7.
We have an OIC chief investigator right now.
So, sino po yung ano? Paano lang
It
po
would
para
be
klaro?
OIC Chief Bayani Galvez.
Bayani Teves.
Galvez po.
Pero siya na yung pumalit eh, so hindi siya ganoon ka-familiar, unlike yung nag-retire, no, na sinasabi ninyo. So, Mr. Chair, siguro, in the next hearing, Mr. Chair, baka po pwede pong maimbitahan yung previews, no, na CHR Region 7 para malaman natin yung mga cases. Although, you've mentioned na medyo yung pagpatay nga ay, yung pag-hit ay diretsyong pagpatay, parang ganon. Pero gusto sana nating malaman kung ano talaga exactly yung nangyari. Then, Mr. Chair, kung lumalabas nga nung panahon ni former PNP Chief Sinas bilang Director General sa Central Visayas, marami talagang nangyaring pagpatay under SEMPO. Halo-halo eh, di ba? Sinabi nga, maybe drugs, maybe ano, pero iba-iba din. So, marami inosente. So, Mr. Chair, and under Oplan Sauron, ito yung mistulang tokhang noong panahon niya sa kasagsagan din ng malawakang pagpatay sa ilalim ng Administrasyong Dutrte. Mr. Chair, marami tayong katanungan kaugnay nito at naniniwala ang representasyong ito na mainam na buksan ang mga kasong ito kaugnay ng usapin ng extrajudicial killings sa termino ng dating Pangulong Duterte. Kaya naman, Mr. Chair, I move to invite move to invite an official from the CHR Region 7, yung previous official ng Region 7, on our next hearing. And of course, most importantly, we would like to ask the good committee to summon retired Police General Debold Sinas in our next hearing, Mr. Chair. So move, Mr. Chair.
There is a motion to invite the CHR Region 7, previous regional director of CHR in Region 7, and likewise invite the former Chief PNP, General Debold Sinas, in our next committee hearing. Any second?
Mr.
Duly
Chair.
seconded. Hearing no objections, the motion is approved.
Mr. Chair, just to clarify, instead of the regional director, it's the former chief investigator.
The former chief investigator, it's not the regional director. So please take note of the amendment. So the next interpolator is Congresswoman Jinky Luistro. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I was listening to our resource persons about the statistics as to the number of lawyers who were victim of EJK. Do we have statistics already with respect to the prosecutors and with respect to the judges? Or does this number include already the prosecutors and the judges?
If I may, Your Honor, yes, the number already includes judges and prosecutors. Actually, just a clarification, while the NUPL reports that there were 59 lawyers killed, this number is qualified as lawyers were killed because of prima facie work-related, but there were actually 65 lawyers and judges killed during this period, Your Honor.
And have we verified, Attorney Conti, whether this 59 or 63 lawyers, some are prosecutors and judges, were actually handling cases of dangerous drugs law? All
Yes.
of them?
Not all of them, Your Honor. There are a few, and the problem is if the police do not investigate further and float many other motives for the killing, the drug connection cannot be pursued any further. But among them would be, as Attorney Colmenares has already mentioned, lawyers of Rolando Espinosa, lawyers of Melvin Odicta. These are, well, so-called drug lords. There is also a former judge, Ezekiel Dagala, who was named in the narco list. There was also a lawyer, Baby Maria Concepcion Landero Ole, whose late husband's involvement was alleged to be, because he was formerly detained on drugs charges. Her late husband's involvement was the alleged motive for the killing. There was a prosecutor in the Parahinog case, Your Honor, Jeronimo Marabe Jr., and the judge in the same case, Judge Edmundo Pintac. These two were killed in the same because of their relation.
In other words, Attorney Conti, can we say that generally these lawyers are handling or involved in dangerous drugs cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm interested to know also about the outcome of the preliminary investigation of the total number of cases which are pending during the time with the prosecution, and the number of dangerous drugs cases which are pending in court during the time, particularly that is 2016 up to 2022. Do we have a data on this?
Your Honor, unfortunately, that data would be available with the Office of the National Prosecution Service from the DOJ and the Supreme Court. I understand the Supreme Court had efforts to compile these numbers, including that of plea bargaining success rate. If
So
their
would
program
you be
was-
willing to help the Quadcom solicit this information from the Supreme Court? Because I honestly believe that this will help us understand and establish more what really happened during those times, particularly with respect to the war on drugs.
Yes, Your Honor.